Oh, this is fun. This is fun. So the other day we had Thomas Friedman, the New York Times writer, who said, Biden and Liz Cheney, 2024? Just complete moron. I mean, the conventional wisdom pumped up with steroids and human growth hormone to make it the worst possible version of conventional wisdom. This guy is so deep in the elite's bubble he can't see straight. That ticket would lose in a stunning fashion. Almost any Republican ticket would beat that ticket. Because Biden, the Democratic base, doesn't like Joe Biden. He's not doing anything with his considerable power. And only like elite liberals and corporate Democrats like Liz Cheney. And you're not going to get any crossover Republican voters to vote for Liz Cheney. They hate Liz Cheney. They view her as a traitor because she's critical of Trump. So this is you have like a 20% block in the country at best that would vote for this ticket. It is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And by the way, he says, we need to copy Israel by doing such a coalition. That wonderful democracy of Israel. He literally says, to save our democracy, we need to copy Israel. You mean the apartheid state? Copy the theocratic apartheid state in order to be more democratic. What? But see, listen, the reason why this is an idea that he can even float is because it is technically true. There's not much difference policy-wise between Democrats and Republicans. Like the elites in both parties, the corporatists in both parties, they agree on way too much stuff. And so there isn't even that much difference in the mindset between them, but it's hardcore partisanship that would make people turn against this. And also, again, you can't run a Democratic ticket that has lost the entire Democratic base. Politics 101 is don't lose your base. And Thomas Friedman's advice is lose your base immediately. So we got that from New York Times idiots. Well, now look at the new one from the equally stupid David Brooks. Today is the day for Biden to begin revamping his presidency in a more centrist direction. There's no path forward for a leftish agenda. David Brooks thinks Joe Biden has been governing from the left. That's what David Brooks thinks. How can you possibly believe that? How can you possibly believe that? Build Back Better was $6 trillion. Then it was $3.5 trillion. Then it was $2.1 trillion. Then it was $1.8 trillion. Then the Biden administration said to Joe Manchin, hey, dog, make whatever bill you want to make and we'll get it through. So you, the ultimate blue dog Democrat, Republican light Democrat, right-wing Democrat, corporate centrist Democrat, you just write the legislation and we'll try to get it through. Whatever you want in the bill, put it in the bill. That is the most centrist thing you could do. And still, we couldn't get anything done on that front. Nothing. On what planet do you think Biden's on the left? What would a left-wing president have done? You guys know this. I say it all the time. Number one, you'd be cranking out the executive orders like nobody's business. We already have legal marijuana. We already have all the nonviolent drug offenders freed in the country. You would have given at least everybody who suffered through COVID free health care. Through our current existing laws under Obamacare during an emergency, you can give people free health care. We would have done that. We would have abolished student loan debt. We would have done rolling student loan debt elimination through executive order so that we effectively have free college in this country. There's a million, free Julian Assange, free Edward Snowden. There's a million things an actual left president would have done. You would have used a leverage on Manchin and Sinema, made them public enemy number one unless they do the right thing on Build Back Better. He didn't do any of this stuff. He did exactly what the centrists want. Of let Manchin run the show, let Sinema run the show, I'll let them decide everything, I don't care. And what happened? His approval rating is 33%. You guys are in control. The centrists and the corporatists are the dominant faction of the House of Representatives, the Democrats in the House of Representatives, and the Democrats in the Senate, and the president. You guys have your governing philosophy on display right now for everybody to see, and everybody hates it. Biden's approval rating is 33%. That's lower than Trump's lowest approval rating. Trump's lowest approval rating was 34%. Own your failures. Own it. Own it. Joe Biden is Joe Biden. He's not Bernie Sanders. He's not FDR. He's not LBJ. Nancy Pelosi is Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi isn't Marianne Williamson governing in there from the left. If we had Bernie Sanders and if we had Marianne Williamson, the approval rating wouldn't be 33%. It'd be way higher than 33%. Be over 50%. People would like the fact that the government is actually working for them and doing the things that the people want. He said it's time for Biden to go in a centrist direction. How could he get more centrist? That's a genuine question. How could he get more centrist? If you're already saying, hey, look, we're not doing anything, we're not getting anything through at all, and I'm letting Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema run the show, how do you get more centrist than that, David Brooks? Notice he didn't give any specifics in his argument here. There's no specifics, because how can you give specifics? Biden is the epitome of a centrist Democrat. He's quintessential centrist Democrat. Oh my God, this guy has Jello brains, bro. There's nothing going on up there. And he decided to tweet this on the same day that Biden was talking about voting rights and trying to get at least an exemption in the filibuster just on voting rights. And he couldn't even get that done. But he says, oh, this is a leftish agenda. Is it really to make Election Day a holiday? To end gerrymandering? To require states to allow 15 days of early voting? This is just basic pro-democracy stuff. Automatic voter registration. Basic pro-democracy stuff. That's it. That's all this is. That's a leftist thing, and he needs to be more centrist, even though he's being as centrist as anybody can possibly be, as humanly possible right now. He gets paid to talk about politics and write about politics, this guy. He gets paid to do that. Whether it was Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, or Joe Biden, this is the same neoliberal, new Democrat ideology. This corporatism, this coloring within the lines, playing within the system, this anti-social democratic agenda. That's everything about this philosophy and this ideology and this governing strategy. And he refuses to own it. In fact, they turn around and blame the left. You've already tried the left-wing thing, so now you got to be further right. Does he just want Joe Biden to fully be like Donald Trump? Try to pass another tax cut for the rich or something like that? Is that what you want? And then he would call that reasonable, intelligent governance? I can't believe he gets paid to write politics. Him, Thomas Friedman. Between the two of them, they have the IQ of a dead ferret. They have zero political analysis skills. And by the way, the good news is the responses to his tweet really show he's exactly as out of touch as we all know that he is. I mean, people really went in the responses. They went in. But no matter what, I forgot the question, but the answer is blame the left. Doesn't get any more absurd and doesn't get any more unempirical than what he's saying here. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take zero ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.